More from President Obama. He spoke out, as we saw, not only about Edward Snowden's revelations, but also Syria and so much more in that interview released overnight. Our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, is traveling the president in Sligo, Ireland. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. As the president wraps up his meetings with world leaders here, he is pushing back hard against critics at home who say he is not doing enough about the crisis in Syria. Behind all the smiles at the annual summit of the world's major economic powers, big disagreement between Russia and the United States about what to do over the crisis in Syria. In the interview with Charlie Rose for PBS, President Obama lashed out at critics who say his offer of small arms to the Syrian rebels is too little, too late.
If you haven't been in the Situation Room, pouring through intelligence and meeting directly with our military folks, unless you've been involved in those conversations, then it's kind of hard for you to understand the complexities of the situation and how we have to not rush into one more war in the Middle East.
The president also weighed in on Iran and their recent election of a relatively moderate president.
I think it says that the Iranian people want to move in a different direction. Clearly, you have a hunger within Iran to engage with the international community in a more positive way.
And closer to home, President Obama defended newly revealed NSA programs, including those gathering data on Americans.
Some people say, well, Obama was this raving liberal before, now he's, Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney sometimes says, yeah, he took it all lock, stock, and barrel. My concern has always been not that we shouldn't do intelligence gathering to prevent terrorism, but rather, are we setting up a systems of checks and balances?
This afternoon, President Obama travels to Berlin. While there, he will give a speech at the historic Brandenburg Gate, 50 years after John Kennedy gave his famous Ich bin ein Berliner speech. Expectations are high. It was in 2008, during the campaign, that Obama addressed one of his largest audiences ever, right there in Berlin.